Go on, gang. Welcome. At 21:12, I got a massive download. Your karmic mother was suppressing the truth. Welcome. This is not for everyone, but for who it's for, gang. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Welcome. It's your girl D Virgo 2222, gang. I had a massive download about someone or some of you. Welcome. Can you like, subscribe, and share? Say hello, let me know that you're here and where you're watching me from. Welcome, gang. This is not for everyone. And it's going off. Let that go enough, gang. You see, I see a karmic mother whose words and actions are very cruel and cold towards a child, whether feminine or masculine. I see in the truth being suppressed, whether it's about something that happened to the child or something pertaining to the child. It could also be the voice of the child. Some of you would use the term narcissistic to describe this mother who wasn't healed herself from her past. So she passed a lot of pain and trauma onto you. The word was phobias that came up, and that means created fears within you. That's mental health, mental imbalance. And your fear could be different from someone else's. The fear of abandonment. The fear of rejection. There's so much fears here. Some of you have a fear of intimacy. And that comes from trauma as a child. From being touched in the wrong way. spoken to in the wrong way. It speaks about karmic mothers covering up, not being honest with others or with you or even with themselves. And as I was coming out, Spirit showed me something. It was kind of funny. I was trying to open this. I was trying to open it. And Spirit says, I was trying to open it. No, the mothers was keeping you stuck. They were keeping you stuck. That's why I couldn't open it. It was stuck. So this karmic mother was keeping this child stuck. But this child is attached to the mother. But the mother is not attached to the child. So it's a one-way relationship. And gang, tap that like button, gang. These are pure downloads that came in at 2112. And I just had to sit on it and marinate with it to make sure this was it. Thank you for your seed. I really appreciate you. Oh, wow. I was at the top. I didn't even see any of the comments. I was up there. Oh, wow. Amelia, thank you. Do I even have a pen? I was so underprepared, but very much prepared. Little did I know it. Thank you for your seed. Let me just quickly find the pen, gang. Welcome, welcome, gang. I was just lost in a train of thought, which was really just downloads coming in. And I hope you can appreciate that. But I appreciate you. I swear I had a pen. It just kind of breaks the flow. I didn't know where the pen is, gang. So Amelia, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I really don't know where the pen is. Oh, there it is. There it is, gang, gang. Thank you, One Lordy. I love you too, Amelia. Always blessing me. Thanks, gang. So, Amelia, thank you for your seed. Spirit says, you somehow became disconnected from me. So from God, your religion, your beliefs. And this came through the connection of this mother. And maybe she was connected to spiritual things or religious things. And it may have disconnected you from these things. Because the word is coming up, rebellious. So you became a rebellious child. And what I know through psychology is when people start to rebel is where they feel they haven't been heard. It's where they've been suppressed so much. It's like a boiling kettle. You explode. So who I'm talking about, I just feel like there came a point where you started to rebel against this mother because you've got purpose, but your mother is still much in the karmic element, playing out a karmic role, in a karmic cycle, and very much sees a light in you that's not in them. And I don't feel like it's purposely done, but I just feel like jealousy is there because how are you like this and I am like this? Why is it like this? This is the energy that I see. Some of these karmic parents was jealous of your relationship with your father or the person that was your father, or it just with people. So I just feel like this jealousy element was here. It could have been of the gifts that you had. It was just different things for different people. So I don't want to just highlight one thing. But jealousy is here for some of you because karmics have emotions that they shouldn't have. It's not unconditional, so they place conditions on you. You never feel loved unconditionally by a karmic. So this mother never made you feel loved unconditionally. You always felt like you needed to appease them. But I just feel the feeling of not feeling good enough. So I don't ever feel good enough, whether they made you feel like that or what they said made you feel like that, gang. So I just feel like I just keep feeling like I'm not good enough. And maybe you told me I wasn't good enough. Maybe you looked me in my face and said, I'm not good enough. But whatever it is, this child just came off with this energy of not feeling good enough, pretty enough, whatever it is. And it could have been because they were matched against a sibling, a sister, a brother, even a cousin, which would have been favored more than them. So they would have felt very small and someone would have looked very large. That term black sheep is there. Maybe you were treated differently, spoken to differently, dressed differently. Maybe you had different fathers, so maybe the father played a role, and maybe they were taking out anger from a father on you, and it's very much projected onto a child. Because maybe the father accepted you and rejected the mother, so now the mother's rejecting you. This is the energy, very projected. Yeah. So we got karmic mothers that are affecting their child's mental health because they are not healing from traumas, whether it was from the past traumas of a child, of their own parents, or from the relationships that they've had, whether it was with your father or people before them, because they could have been traumatized before your father. It just speaks to someone who's very ill and who is not healing or doesn't want to heal, doesn't recognize it, because narcissists will always project and say that you're sick, not me, I'm good, you're not, it's you, not me. So very much maybe not even owning it, projecting it, gang, making you feel like something was wrong. You made me do it. You made me hit you. You made me do this to you. It was never owning it. This energy. So you maybe grew up accepting less than you was worth, because this is what you were taught growing up. I see very volatile and toxic households, whether you were physically, sexually, or emotionally, or sometimes financially abused. Because some of you were financially, because your mom was good, had money, but used money to abuse you. So if you didn't do this, I won't buy this. I'll take away what I bought. This energy was very much control. The energy is controlling. And I feel like you fell into the role of reading energies to read the room. You walked on eggshells, so you had to read environments and read people to gauge how they were feeling at every second of every day, because they would switch it and change it on you. So you had to gauge the way you would respond, the way you would speak, the way you present yourself. So I feel like depending on someone's mood, you would have to respond differently, or maybe take yourself out of an environment because you could foresee a problem. I feel like you were gaslighted a lot and made to feel like something was your fault. I don't know who I'm speaking to, but Spirit says I need to give you this message. Your mother was karmic and she really wasn't healed. And she was projecting a lot of pain onto you. Even though what you may say is trauma that she caused to you, this was training for the next stage that you are being brought into. It just feels like this mother knew your greatness, knew you were special, knew these things, but chose to try to break your will, break your confidence. This was like, for some, it just felt kind of malicious. It felt like jealousy. It felt like dark energy, gang. It felt dark. This person was in a dark space, this karmic mother, and may have done some very dark things like physical abuse, allowed or turned her back on sexual abuse, could have chose an abuser that abused you over you. These are the energies that's coming up, gang, and I really don't mean to trigger you, but I want you to know that I'm speaking to you, gang. I see a child that either was an orphan who felt like an orphan. And Spirit confirmed it with 2 cards. Now, where those 2 cards are, I don't know. We don't know. But we're going to find them. Oh, here they are on my lap. Have I hit the spot? Wow. See, I wasn't watching the chat because I didn't want to be influenced by what you were saying. But thanks for the confirmation that I have got the right crowd, the right people. Because Spirit says this is a big reading. And I just feel stuck. And just like the Vaseline top, this mother had you in a stuck place. I don't know how to say it. If you had a loving mother, you wouldn't have been stuck. Like, I just feel like very paramount to who you became, your journey, this energy. And some of you are still stuck at that traumatic place because it was so traumatic for you. And this woman hasn't owned any of it. You've had to heal. This is a phrase that I heard that really touched my soul. Having to accept an apology that you know you will never get. Deep it. Having to accept an apology you know you're never, ever, 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 ever gonna get from that person, from those people, but you have to accept it from yourself, to yourself, as if they gave it to you, to release this energy away from you. This is the letting go and letting God go. Do you see where we're going with this? Because some of you, your mothers have never admitted that they were wrong, that they should have done more, that they knew that this person was abusing you, that they should have never abandoned you or rejected you. They'd have never owned the shit. And you've had to accept it and move on. Yeah. I'm sorry if I'm triggering you, but this is such a healing life today. As we're not going to stay here. We're going to move through it, gang. Can you like, subscribe, and share? Say hello, gang. Let me know that you're here. Because you are the ones that are breaking generational traumas and curses and strongholds, gang. And these strongholds have kept you stuck. Your mother stuck. Your grandmother stuck. Your grandfather stuck. And I'm talking for generations. And you are the ones that have come to stop it. To pull it down. To remove it. So it doesn't repeat itself again. Not on your watch, gang, Spirit says. So I've come to bring a message of power. Even though at one point in your life your power was stolen or taken away from you. Spirit says it was all training, babies. It was training, gang. Gang, gang. Ashe. That's what they did. You don't know who to trust. Because if I can't trust my mother, if I can't trust my father or the person who's supposed to be my father, who can I trust? So trust was broken from a young age. You couldn't trust anyone but yourself. And even then, you found yourself reading runes. You're healing now. You're healing now, gang, gang. Every day you're healing, you're getting stronger. You just don't know it. My crown is going off because I'm connected. The trauma and the pain that was inflicted upon you. For some people, it takes a lifetime to heal from, or lifetimes. So please be kind with you. Some of you are so hard on yourselves. That pain hits differently when it comes from a mother. And I seriously love you, gang, gang. So let's get into the card part of the message, gang. As I really want to just speak to you and speak life into you. And I want to tell you, though, even though your mothers or your fathers rejected and abused you, you know God chose you and loved you, gang. And ultimately protected you in the end, even from yourselves. Having to accept an apology that you will never get, because some of them go to the grave and they'll never give it to you. So leaving you to heal you. Not acknowledging the depth of the pain that was inflicted upon you. So we want to speak about it so we can heal from it, gang. Can we do this today? So there's a trigger warning that I'm going to put on the title just in case. So it will be people's choices whether to listen or not, just in case. As I think it's only right. God is always the best solution. 100%. That's where you find God. Because you have no one else. When I was younger, I made up a fairy godmother. That's what I had at the time. Because I turned my back on religion because that's what she had. So I get it. We all have different things. Some of us, it's fairies. You find when you are with karmic mothers and you're an empath, you often find yourself daydreaming, and that karmic mother will even take offense to you daydreaming because you're escaping her. It's kind of controlling every part of the environment. Yeah. That's good, Kim. That's good. Thank God, Ganga. I don't want to trigger no one in a bad way. If I'm triggering you in a bad way, please leave, for real. That's not the mission. Okay? I'm not going to call any mothers any names. All I know is that I feel the pain of that mother. That mother is not healed. That mother is not healed. And I'm going to call it for what I feel and see it. It's pain begatting more pain. Abuse begatting more abuse. And these are energetic chains, gang. That's what I see. I'm not here to throw stones at anyone's mothers. Because I just feel like it's a family tree. And they chose not to heal. They chose to be the abuser. They chose to be the inflictor of more pain. But you are choosing to heal it. You are choosing to break it. And you and them are not the same. Am I speaking to you, gang? You're not the same. And I think that's what's at the core of it. Your sister is like your mother. Your brother is like your mother. So they favor each other and make you feel like you're nothing. Their characters are the same. You're an empath, gang, but they have no empathy for you or no one but themselves. So you find yourself being left out of a circle that you was never included in. Because you're not the same. From the same father, from the same cloth, from the same soul family. You're from the same karmic, which is not lifetime. They may be soul family, but you're not. And you're like, but why don't I fit in? Because they're soul family and you're a karmic to them. You're there to learn something from them, not to be like them, not to try to fit in with them. Because you'll never fit in and become like them. This is what it is. I want you to understand everything was purposeful. Can you like, subscribe, and share? Like the video, gang. Like the live. Like. Come on. Like. Someone else needs to hear it, and it depends on you liking this live, getting this word out. People are suffering in silence, gang. But I say speaking it is healing it. Because for some of you, that chain, that stronghold is silence. Your grandma was silent. Your mother was silent. And if you don't do something and speak up, you're also going to be silent. And so we're going to speak about it today. Even though it can be a little bit taboo for some of you. Stuck. That word stuck. Stuck. I can't open it. Literally. And what does Spirit just say? You find it hard to open up. OMG. Spirit's just giving me downloads, gang. You're finding it hard to open up. What, to people? Because your mum didn't open up to you? You couldn't open up to your mother? I saw 222. She rejected you. Didn't listen to you. So now you find it hard to speak to other people because you just feel like they're not listening to you either. This energy has carried with you. Found it hard to open up. Sexually, because I was abused sexually. Emotionally, because my mom didn't emotionally connect to me. Communicatively, because she never really spoke to me. The stone that the builder rejected is becoming the cornerstone, gang. Come on, I love that Bible verse. I love you for that. Dark lady, I love that, gang. Because a lot of you were dark empaths before you came light ones, gang. Because that's where you were birthed. In dark places and spaces. Because you were birthed from a mother that was in a very dark place. That put you through some dark and unspeakable things that you may have never spoken about. That's why you went to therapy, gang. Cheers. So we got orphan and we got mother. So do you see that pain begats pain? This is like, which came first? The chicken or the egg? The abuse or the abuser? Have you figured it out? Pull it in the chat. No matter how I pull it. The abuser and the abuser. The abused and the abuser. But which one came first? It's a cycle. Hurt people hurting other people. Rejected people rejecting other people. Someone had to start it. Come on. It says you all have your own interpretations of the past. So your mother does, your brother does, your sister does, and so do you. It says your mother may not have favored you, gang, and may have made you feel like an orphan where it comes to your sister and your brother. There you are feeling left out in the cold while she's got these two on her lap. reading a story to them, but you're over here feeling like an orphan, but you got a mother. But she's ignoring you. And she's giving love to these people, these two. They're dressed better. You're dressed like a tramp. So you feel and you look unkept. Reading them bedtime stories, but you're putting yourself to bed. You're finding yourself food. This is all different. It feels like you may have to babysit these kids. So you may have to babysit them too. You look like Annie. Can I have some more? And they look like royalty. So maybe you had different fathers as well, some of you. Some of you may have had different fathers, and that could have played a big key here. Cinderella, yeah. She felt like Cinderella. She's praying for change. She's daydreaming. While the siblings are treated better. They're given warmth, love, unconditional love, while you're out in the cold. Treated coldly, badly, abused, and it's okay to be abused by others. But these are held in high esteem. I'm sorry, gang. I need you to understand this is for you. So your mother was a karmic and didn't know how to love you, didn't know how to connect with you, because you are not from her soul family. I want you to understand how this works. She was there to teach you something, and it looks like it was a harsh lesson. So while you saw her loving on those kids, it's because they were part of her soul tribe and you wasn't. You was part of her karmic gang, and she was part of yours. And she was tolerating you as much as she could. And some of you, she may have even orphaned you, rejected you. Spirit says left you for dead at some point in your life. So let's get into it. Because you go to school and these places, you assign labels that don't make you understand what this really is. And on a spiritual level, she couldn't love you unconditionally because you're not from her soul tree. You're not from her soul family. You're from her karmic. And you was there to teach her something about herself. And you was there, and she was there to teach you something about you going forward, gang. These are lessons, gang. And there's sometimes hard ones. For some of you, this disconnect was from the start, from a baby. She couldn't love you. She may not have wanted you in the womb, but tolerated it because of religion or the pressures of whatever was going on currently in her life. So May felt pressure to carry through with this. May felt rejected by the father, and then turned around and just very much bitter towards the child. Because it is displaced anger for some. Because karmics are easily doing this. They can always become jealous of you, because the karmics can always become jealous of you as well. So your soul mother will never be jealous of you, always love you unconditionally, no matter what age you are. A karmic may place a limit on you. So when you're 18, you gotta go. Like, a soul mother will love you till you die. There's no limit on this. I'm a mother till you die or I die, and until then I'm a mother. So this is the energy that's shifting here. So I just feel that the labels that we learn in physical life really don't make us understand what's really happening in the spiritual. And if you understand it, then you may not take it so personal. To know that you came to teach her something and she chose not to learn it. And she came to teach you something. And if you choose to learn it, you can break it off of your kids. This is breaking it from a generation, gang. And you have been chosen to go into this soul family, this family whose soul, and break a generational chain. Not just for you, but for her too. Even though she couldn't do the same for you. This is what you're chosen. It's a big thing. Even though it's like a blessing and a curse, gang. You just have to see it for what it is. A lot of children born to karmic mothers are purpose-filled, gang. So they have purpose. They're here for a reason. It wasn't that any child should suffer unless it was going to be for the good of all. So that's why you're here, to learn something that can teach others in the long run. And I spoke about it yesterday, where to speak on it, to heal people from it, to coach or mentor, you have to go through it. Because you can read all the books in the world, but you'll never understand. You'll never be able to understand or relate to people that are currently in those places and spaces, guys. And they may not be relate to you, which is key. For someone to open up, they need to relate to the person. And the first thing in the person's mind is, what do you know? What have you been through? And a lot of the times you find they haven't been through anything. They just read it and passed the exam, done the coursework, and then they're qualified to speak on it. But they're never truly connecting to the person or to the subject, because how can they? Just like the karmic mother. I hope you're catching the message here. That's why it's very important to choose your therapist very carefully. Because you may connect with one and they can do more damage than good, because they are not connected to you. Not connected to what you're going through. They're just there because they learned something in a book, but they're not connected to it. I want you to understand, that's why some of you have therapy for years and it doesn't work. Thank you. Catch my drift. So let's get into the cards once again, because it's like, uh-oh, I told you. I had a massive download for you. Because I'm going somewhere. Spirit says, the children that are born to karmic mothers, they have a great purpose. They're here to teach mankind big and massive lessons. But they have to learn through massive lessons, which can be good and bad. Because we live in a world that is good and bad, a world of polarity, gang. And somebody can be more bad than good. Especially when you're living in a balanced home with an imbalanced mother who has an imbalanced mind. For some of you, your mother had mental health. Some of you, your mothers had long-term depression but was never diagnosed. Some of you, your mothers was undiagnosed with different things and just was automatically going through life, and very much, I just feel that you took the brunt of a lot because you was the karmic child. And you may have felt the need to make things better, and that's where the not enough comes in. It speaks about how you created these codependent relationships in your life currently, is because it was first created with this karmic mother. This imbalanced relationship. It started right there, where you was giving so much to the mother and she wasn't giving enough to you. Who am I speaking to? Is it you? Can you tap the like button, gang? It says you learned this from her. You learned to give too much to people who give little or nothing to you. And she taught this to you. Wow, Spirit, you're good. My heart is hurting. Mothers breaking their children's heart because their hearts are broken. And though the cycle keeps on cycling. Mothers breaking their sons and daughters' hearts because they are broken themselves. But who changes the cycle? The chicken or the egg? 144 of you. Shit, though. It's often said that children born to karmic mothers become addicted to pain, to escapism, whether it's to sex, to drugs, rock and roll. You're just escaping to different things, and nothing is ever good enough because it started there, in that home with her. You are truly healing if you're here. This is where your heart chakra really became blocked from a very young age to love. And I mean to real love. This is where your dreams and hopes started to get crushed by her. Because if she couldn't love you, how can anyone else love you? There must be something wrong with you. If my mother cannot love me, then there's something wrong with me. Right? A child that never blames outwards. They always blame inward. They find a reason to blame themselves about the divorce, about the change in a person's attitude. I feel the blockage in your heart chakra. I'm so cold, I'm so cold, I'm so cold. I got an icebox. Used to be. Some of you learned to be cold because your mother was cold to you. And now you're trying to tap into that divine feminine energy. Because she was not feminine. She was in the masculine. She would beat you. She would accuse you. She would speak down to you. So you had to be in your masculine because defensive. Defense. I didn't. Stop, block. So rediscovering this feminine energy. I don't want to touch too much on it. But Spirit says your mother turned a blind eye while that parent or step-parent abused you physically or sexually. Because I know you was wondering. And Spirit says that she knew. Deep down she knew. And she blamed you. I went back to, and it was funny because they showed me Freud. And how Freud tried to first say that children are sexualized from the first time that they're born. And he tried to push that. And it shows the mind of a pedophile who was in a position of power. And I want you to catch that message, gang. Because some of you, your abuser was in positions of power, whether it in the career or in a spiritual or religious aspect. They have positions of power. And this made you feel powerless to speak up, to speak out, and to speak on it. Your voice was small or silenced. Whether physically, verbally, or Spirit says magically. Someone could have had a curse put on them, a binding spell. We spoke about that the other day. Alson, God bless you. Oh. A1. Thank you, gang. Sorry about that. A1. God bless you. Some of you may have had a binding spell put on your mouths by parents or step-parents to stop you from speaking out or accusing them to the police or authorities or something like this. I feel sick. All of a sudden, I just feel sick. So we're going to wind this down and just get into the cards. Like I said, and remember what I said. When I say the curse, that curse could have been placed on your mother when she was abused and didn't speak up. So this curse could really just have been generational too. Because I said, monkey see, monkey do. Monkey see, monkey do there. And yeah. And it really comes down to you and what you do. 222. You was 5 years old. Get this person out. So let's get into it, because I don't want to drag it at all. I just want to go through it, just like you with the healing, right? Don't want to drag it out, as some of you have been doing for 60 years, dragging it out. So let's get into the healing part of this message, gang. Because the word's stuck. Some of you are stuck, still there. And you're 60, you're 70, you're 80. And Spirit says, when are you going to choose to break this chain? When are you going to choose to speak on it, speak out, and heal from it, gang? Your silence keeps you suffering. Your speaking will start and spark your healing. And this is the crux of my message here. Thank you, Mesha. Amazing. What button? Dark Lady, thank you. Thank you, gang gang. Never, never, never. Come on. Never dim your light. Your authentic truth never needs to be defended. Tell them. Your throat chakra is blocked, gang. It's like your heart, because you've been silenced about things that have broken your heart. Ow. Let there be light. Oh, where can we pull it though? Where can we pull it? Sweep it up there. It should go up there, right? It's giving me a headache. One sec. It's actually... Oh! It's giving me a headache. I think it's going to give me a headache. Where can we clip it? I don't think it can fit up there. Let's put it here. That looks spooky. That's alright. Spooky vibes, right? So let's write your name down. Lady, Dark Lady, yeah? Can I call you that? Thank you. I appreciate you. So we're getting ready to go. This is the message, gang. It says, so a lot of you didn't feel loved by a mother and watched her love on other people's children, her own children, but not on you. Not on you, gang. So let's go forward and see what this message pertains to you going forward. Because that is your past. That's your past. Let's keep going. It does speak about phobias. The fears that your mother created in you. The fear of speaking up. The fear of abandonment, the fear of rejection, the fear of shame, whatever it was, you said that you got fears. Some of it affected your mental health. It gave you anxiety because maybe it was a physical or sexual abuse, and now you got PTSD. In God. So it speaks about the traumas that you've been through that created these self-defense mechanisms within you. Okay. So let's get into this message right now. Let's get it. Let's get the energy, guy. What you need to know. What do you need to know? Whoa. So you got Archangel Gabriel. Look at the throat chakra. Do you see what I see? There's a lot of blockages in your throat chakra. And it says your voice was silenced around your sisters and your brothers. There you are. So it does speak about you being silenced around sisters and brothers. They're giving me Cinderella vibes. And you felt like your voice was silenced. You were silenced. You were treated differently. As Spirit says, you are an angel. You're not like them. So they got all the good stuff. And it just felt like because I feel like your mother could have even known that you was an earth angel and suppressed the truth from you. And tried to really block your truth. This is your truth. From you speaking the truth. So it says your voice was blocked a long time ago. Even just by you seeing other people being treated better than you, this silenced a lot of you. It affected your mental health. It made you think less of yourself. And you accepted less from people when it came to you. It says that you was grateful for the little. When you deserve so much more. What do you need to know? You're probably still accepting less than you deserve today. This is what the legacy that you was given. What do you need to know? That you have come to break and change. What do you need to know here? Energy is everything, gang. What do you need to know? Like I said, look at this. Caring connections were deceptive. So the people that was caring for you were deceptive. We got ulterior motives. This is not unconditional love. One minute I care about you, I feel that you care about me. Next minute it looks like you hate me. Look, you can't stab me. It's like you turn into a demon. So someone's mother could like switch it up, schizophrenia, mental health, and wasn't diagnosed, or just downright mean. This is dark. It's evil. We call it witch. Okay. Like they're being mean. And it says your mother lied to you, lied about you. Oh, someone's mother chose their partner over you and allowed the partner to lie on you. So someone's partner lied on you. I'm telling you, there's them, mother and partner, whether it's your father or stepfather, they done something deceitful and they lied about it. And the mother knew but sided with them against you. Ooh. And that's why they silenced you. And they may have had children too. It looks like you were different. You're dressed different. So they got children maybe together, and maybe you're a different child here to someone else. Because then you got different clothes on. And you're in red. So you got shame. This person was raped. I'm sorry. Trigger warning. I should never have said it like that. Sometimes I have no filter, gang. And I swear I'm Virgo. Stop. I hear it. And it just is. When I see red, crimson, this is shame. Feeling like my innocence. Look, they're innocent. They're in white. They still have their innocence, their childhood. But this one doesn't have it. And it says it was stolen from this person who lied. And then this person believed and loved them more than the child. Like, showed them more care and affection than their own child. Like, ooh, this is hitting deep. The light went off. Let's leave it. Ooh. My crown is really crowning here. What do you need to know? Do you know red back in the day would signify prostitute, Delilah? So your mother may have made you feel like a prostitute and made you feel like... Remember I told you about Freud? And it's very significant here because some people believe that children are sexualized. They bring it on themselves. And for some of you, your mother thought that you did it. You sexualized their partner. You brought it on yourself. The way that you dressed, the way you carried yourself around the house. Oh, I'm so sorry. Some of you didn't understand why she stayed and didn't choose you. Because she didn't believe you. It says remembering your childhood differently to what it was actually. Whether it was worse or not as worse. Some of you as children, your perspective is not the best. And you remember something on point or more than what it was or less than what it was because you're protecting yourself from the truth. And for some of you, the truth was she didn't believe you. And for some of you, she knew the truth because it does speak about your mother suppressing the truth. Not letting the truth come out. Not telling your dad, not telling other people what happened to you, not getting you counseling. So suppressing it. Making you carry on like it didn't happen. Maybe even blaming you for it. Maybe not verbally, you may have felt it. It could have been told to you, it's your fault. Or maybe you just felt like it was because they stayed and you felt you was out, like on the outs. So you may have had to tiptoe around the house with an abuser in it. Oh, some of you are made to still live in an abuser, in an abusive situation. In fear for your life, in fear for your innocence. Some of you didn't go to sleep because you were scared to go to sleep. Because the door would open at night when your mother was sleeping. So they're kind of triggering me now. What's going on? Okay. Ashe. It's called disassociation, when you disassociate yourself from the incident and the trauma because to remember it will be too traumatic. Some of you do not remember everything because you cannot. You will have a breakdown. You would probably want to do something very bad to yourself or others if you fully understood or remembered what really happened. Because some of you, it was at a very young age or at a very critical milestone in your life. So it does speak about disassociation and a lot of it being hidden in this psyche, in this subconscious, and it may be coming out years later as you're being triggered by things and environments and people, and especially if you're a mother or father, by your own children, as you start to see the indiscrepancies in your own childhoods because lies were told and you were made to feel like it was something you had done. But now that you come to an adulthood, you can actually see the truth, and sometimes the truth hurts, but it does set you free from what was holding you stuck. Finally. Okay. And I think that is the end of this download. I'm not sure there's even going to be any more cards at this time because Spirit's not even allowing me to bring it, just to bring the message, just to let someone know that you are healing, but it's a process, and it really does start by speaking or even accepting a truth that was told to you, a lie, and now just accepting the truth of that situation that's going to break you free from it, because it is the breaking free that is keeping you stuck to the lie, to the past, to the trauma, to the act, and ultimately to the karmic mother that probably is not attached to you in any way. Ashe. It really is about, you can still have this high and by, but this attachment's not there. And as empaths, you create attachments that are really not there, gang. I said you live a lot of a daydream world because you're creating a reality outside of a reality. And sometimes it's not reality. It's not reality, gang. It's not reality. So is accepting the truth and not a version that you told yourself to keep yourself in this same place? To keep a relationship that shouldn't be kept? Ashe. MBA. Chief. What I got? Thank you. I see a lot of moving on and moving beyond. So it just tells me a lot of people are really healing, going to counseling, or actually just speaking about things. And this in itself is really breaking the chain, gang. It's breaking a barrier that your mother, your grandmother, your grandfather could not or chose not to do. They chose to take it out on you. So I do want to really say congratulations to whoever I'm speaking to. And that's what it really was, because you're a chain breaker of your family, gang. And even though you tried to fit in with them, Spirit says you were never like them. And that was the actual point of it, gang. You're not like them. You're actually here to help them, to heal them. You're from a different actual family, even though by blood definition, you are family. But that's not your real soul family. Soul family is from the heart. That's not it. That's karmic. Lessons. So you can see who's a karmic or not. Because it's either heartfelt, or it just feels like I'm always learning a lesson with you. Either I've learned it or I keep on getting hurt. This is the energy. It's never either good enough or you make me feel that way. It's just energy. So you can always, if you go spiritual, gauge your relationships on this. With anyone in your life. Because sometimes your children are karmic too. We can speak about it. That's why she didn't love you. You're a karmic, gang. She may have understood that you was only there for a season in her life, so she shouldn't get attached to you. And it just would have hurt you to know this. To be attached to people who are not attached to you is the life of the karmic and the empath. And then you begat these relationships with your baby fathers and baby mothers and your wives and your husbands and then your children. And it's by choice that you change it. It's a choice. And that's what makes you the chain breaker, gang. It says you're choosing to change it, to do something different. And when you do something different, what happens? You get a different result. It's when you expect things to change and you haven't done nothing different. That is a definition of mental health and craziness. And people that are unhealed and have a distorted perception of reality. I want you to start to understand that it really wasn't personal, and stop taking everything so personal. And start to heal and move on from these traumas that was inflicted on you. But ultimately are going to make you stronger to be able to break the chain that has bound all of your karmic family. That's why they're your karmics. Bound to repeat in the karmic cycle again and again and again until one of them breaks the chain. And this is you. Exactly. I never wanted to become my parents. And then I noticed I was repeating the same mistakes my parents also made. So you cannot always go like my mom. Then you look at yourself and say, but are you any better? Have you learned the lessons that she taught you? Because she came to teach you something. What not to do to your children. How about that? It says you got to kiss a few frogs before you kiss a prince or a princess. Yeah, analogy is there. I didn't have children because I was too afraid to repeat it. See, that's the phobia, the fear now. Now I don't want to have a child. This is what the legacy she gave to you. Sad, gang, gang. So sad. Thank you. Light, power, blessings to you, gang, gang. We are going to let you go because I really feel like you get where I'm coming from. It was never the power message. It was one of power to let you know that the struggle is real, but you are going to overcome it. You are. But I want you to acknowledge your strengths and stop focusing on your weaknesses, gang, because that is something else that you may have been trained to do by this karmic mother. Because you only saw what you couldn't do and never saw what you could do, gang. And this was always pointed out to you. And now that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing, gang. You're doing all the same things she was doing. Belittling yourself and accepting less for yourself. So the cycle really and the change starts with you, for real. And I'm speaking to the chain breaker in you, gang. So if it's you, can you tap the like button? Can you share? And gang, subscribe. And whether you're here in the live or after, say hello and let me know that you're here. We're going to let you go, though. Let's give you some tarot. Why not? Let's give you some tarot. And it's funny that I got the Hoodoo Tarot. Let's do it. But this will go right back to your ancestors. So we're talking about generational then. We'll not touch this. We're talking about your grandmother too now. And your grandfather. All of this becomes applicable because Spirit says, whoever I'm speaking to, you're on a journey. And I feel that you're on a spiritual journey. And it says, Diana, I'm leaving the past behind. I will not be like the people in my past. I'm breaking these chains. There I am. I'm breaking them. I'm burning certain bridges. Because I feel like bridges have been burnt. Look at this. It says, my mom was jealous of me. She was envious of me. Spiritually, whoa. Somebody grew up with a jealous mother. And I feel like she burned bridges with you. Like I feel like you were so empathic. You forgave things that you should have burned bridges for. Because I feel like her words burned bridges already. Like anyone else would have left, but you stayed. You took it. So I feel like the bridges burnt was really starting with her. So if you did do it in the end, I feel like she did this constantly. Like the gaslighting. So I feel like as an empath, you just take it until you can't take it anymore. And then you burn that bridge. Gang, gang. You sever that connection because it's the core of it is jealousy. And it's not explainable why you treat me the way you treat me. What? Because my father loves me. Or your partner is kind to me. Or what is it? Or there's something in me that's not in you. There's just a lot of jealousy going on with these mothers. And they're karmic, gang. That's why they can't love you unconditional, gang. They find any excuse not to love you and to hate you and to hurt you. And then to abuse you. I see someone pinching and biting someone. Someone was so horrible they pinched and bit them and starved them. And they had the money to feed them. Very disgusting behavior by karmics. Making the child believe. Sever the child from the psyche. So the child then becomes very cold. Either becomes, oh, you may even become abusive. To yourself, to others. Physically, I don't know. The fox is here. So we do have, oh, Spirit, where are you leading me with this? Gang, thank you for your seed. So the fox says, your mum, whoa, is a liar. Your mum's a liar, gang. The fox is a fucking liar. Is a wolf in sheep clothing. Is a mother. She's an acting mother. So she acts the part, but she's not a mother. Some of you, your mother just acted the part. She was never a mother, gang. She acted it for the friends. She acted it for the people. But behind closed doors, she was a bitch. She was a wolf, gang. You were scared of that. Yeah. So she was an actor. The teachers thought she was a good mum. The pastor thought she was a great mum. But you knew better, right? Had you lying from a young age. Pretending from a young age that everything was good to the hood. But when you got home, you was in the masculine, having to read and scan the rooms that you were walking in with this woman. He could, any minute, could really turn this negative energy that she had inside of her on you. She may have talked about you to your siblings, so there was division. She could have been the reason why the division was between your siblings. Some karmics set their children off of in each other, competitive behavior. So then they grow up like this way, but it's really because of the karmic mother setting the precedents here, stirring the pot in one ear and not, you know, this favoritism. And it can make one child angry and another child entitled. And then they go at it. But it was caused by the karmic. Some of you, it could be the father, but I'm right now I'm talking about the mother. If it applies to your father, then apply it there too, gang. Because my crown is going off and someone is saying, but what about a karmic father? Yes. If that's your karmic father, then apply it for you, gang, by the end that way. So Shay, I hear you too. I heard you. Spiritually well. Thank you. God bless you. Who else was it? Sharon Jackson. God bless you, gang, gang. I appreciate my gifters even more so because they're helping my ministry to grow, gang. I can able to buy more things, more materials. As the ones I have are very outdated and cannot do what needs to be done. Ow. Thank you. We appreciate you over here, gang. Spiritually well and Sharon. Okay. So we're going to wind this down because it was a beautiful message. Even though it may have been a bit triggering, I hope you saw where we was going with it. Because it really makes you understand the workings of the minds of your mother and why. Because you would have taken it personally as a child like, oh my God, I just couldn't be loved. I'm unlovable. No, it's not that. She just couldn't love you. She wasn't able to, gang, and it wasn't your fault at all, even though you may have blamed you. But usually the child blames himself. The Spirit says, it's not your fault, baby. It wasn't your fault. It was never your fault. Even though she may have told you it was. Made you feel like it was. So we're here to take that blame off of you. Because some of you have carried that blame with you. That shame with you. Gang, gang. The Spirit says the shame and the blame belongs to your karmic mother. Shame on your mother and blame on your mother, gang. And it's not on you. So we're going to transfer it back to the person that transferred it to you. Ashe? Ashe. There's no need to carry it anymore, gang. What do you need to know? Gang. Something she carried from her mother and she gave it to you. What do you need to know before we let you go? It does say, look, I really feel like this is something that was given to you, passed on to you. Some of you had religious mothers. Religious mothers, gang. And it does speak about even though this person was religious, loving God, they wasn't loving you. So you watch this person love God with a whole heart and couldn't love you with their whole heart. How sad is this? And this may have disconnected you from a relationship with God. It's because even God was loved more than you, right? As a child, there you are watching this relationship. And it does speak about this person not giving it to you. It does speak about you being an empath. You being an empath, gang. So a lot of you are empaths, natural born readers. And you don't need any cards. It says a lot of you are natural born readers. And you don't need any cards. And it does, oh, shh. Some of you, there was a spell done on you. Remember I told you a binding spell. I did, back to the sender. That's a back to the sender spell, gang. Because someone put a spell on you to bind you, to freeze your mouth. To stop you from speaking truth. We got a divine masculine trying to put a spell on a child. They went to this witch or warlock and they used something belonging to the child to bind the child's mouth to not talk up the truth, or when the truth was told, it wouldn't be believed. OMG! What the fuck? So either to stop the truth from coming out, or when the truth came out, it wouldn't be believed. How do I know? How will I know? It's dark magic energy. We got this masculine in a very dark energy, gang, doing very dark things. Sitting back and watching a parent, a karmic mother and a child go back and forward at it. This person is not healed from their trauma and has brought trauma into this connection. We got Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Virgo, Cap, Taurus, Sagittarius is heavy here. Heavy on the earth signs. What do you need to know? We are going to go. This is getting deep. What do you need to know? Take what resonates and leave the rest. Disclaimer. What do you need to know? You got to pull a disclaimer and a trigger warning on this. It says from birth. From birth. Some of you was not shown any love. It says instead of love, you were given salt. It says your ancestors protected you from birth because your mother tried to kill you. So maybe tried to abort you. Didn't want to have you. Your dad fought for you. This energy like didn't want you, gang. Didn't want you. Also speaks about that spell as well. Someone, that masculine, there is like a doll or a teddy bear or something that has been fashioned. I'm getting anxiety because of this now. So we got very dark voodoo, black magic, like going back magic, gang. That was done to silence a baby, a child, because I feel like this child was abused at a very, very young age. We got 0 to 5. No more than 8. We got very young. We got rocking the cradle, and I feel sick to my core that I need to get out of this energy. So this person was very sick that was in this relationship with your mother. You have ancestral protection when that card comes up. So it says that you was always protected, even though someone didn't want you. You was protected. It shows you protected. My crown's going off. Very protected. Some of you have grandmothers that loved you more than your mother. And in spirit, she's very protective over you because she knew your mother didn't love you. She may have tried to get you, or your grandfather. They may have tried to take you. But maybe this karmic mother had something to prove to her mother. So she was like, no, that rebellious spirit, gang. I don't want this child, but you're not going to get this child to love this child more than you loved me. Because they're still hurting from that mother not loving them unconditionally. And now wanting to love you unconditionally. Like, how dare you? You didn't love me, but you want to love my child. So now they're jealous of you because their mother loves you more. Oh. Someone was very simply jealous because the mother didn't love them but loved you. Oh, sad. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. So someone was still in their child energy where they weren't healed from their mother. And here you come, and this mother loving you effortlessly. Effortlessly. And it's triggering to this mother who watched their mother, that same person, abuse them, abandon them, not love them, and place conditions on them. So this is like a situation that's begotten, just, it's chains and cycles and patterns, gang. And who stops it? Who stops it? Spirit says it's you. It's you. It's you, gang. I know it's why me? Why not you? You keep saying, but why me? Why not you? Stop saying why me and ask why not you. Had to be someone, so then it had to be you. Spirit doesn't give anyone nothing they cannot bear. Nothing they cannot synthesize and use for the greater good of all. So just check how you can use those experiences and help someone else, heal someone else, encourage someone else. Because the more you stay silent and keep it to yourself, you're not helping no one, you're hurting yourself. You're helping your abusers to keep doing it to someone else. How about that? Your silence hurts someone else. Alright, it doesn't happen to you, but what about someone else? We are truly going to let you go now. We're going to give you an oracle. At the bottom of the deck, some of you had no one around you that you could trust. Spirit says, look at this. Do you know what this card is for me? This is they set pits for you. They dug pits for you. This is your brothers who were jealous of you from the favor that you got from a father and mother, whether it was a spiritual one or a physical one. And it says, you had a lot of jealous family here that set you up and hated on you and was deceptive with you, gang. Like in front of you, yeah, they might have smiled at you, but behind your back, they went together and set traps for you, gang. Talked about you in negative ways. So I just feel like your circle was never trustworthy. And that's why a lot of you grew up with trust issues. He says you were surrounded by karmics, gang. They're karmics. You were surrounded by karmics. This baby here, that is pure love, pure love, pure love, pure spiritual love, was placed in here, felt like the black sheep, because they were surrounded by a bunch of karmics that couldn't and would never love them, gang. I want you to understand the message, gang. It's not here to hurt you, but to help you to heal. And to understand why someone couldn't love you, accept you for who you was, wanting to change you, make you into another version of yourself, which really ate yourself. And even if you did it, it wouldn't be good enough. Because some of you may have tried to, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, your sexuality, I don't know. You tried to fit in, do what they want you to do, and it still wasn't good enough. Because some of you as empath, you try to change. And in doing that, you change who you are. You lie about who you are. Physically, spiritually, sexually, you become something you're not. And in doing this, you're still not accepted. You're still not loved the way that you want to be loved or need to be loved. So I'm setting you free from blaming yourselves for what was done onto you. From carrying the shame and the blame and by transferring it back to the person that put it on you. Alright? Because it was very much a transference of energy. Because they didn't want to feel it, so I made you feel it. Gang, gang. You're a chain breaker, gang. Ashe? So we're going to get an angel message. Because you know the angel's going to come out and smooth it all off. They're going to come out and smooth it all off, gang, gang. Because I do believe that whoever I'm speaking to, for some of you, that's all you had was the angels protecting and surrounding you. Because in those environments, it was volatile. And either you could have lost your sanity, your life, by the hands of others or yourself. And it's but a God moment. But a God moment. Archangel Michael protecting you from even you. What you was doing to yourself, man. Because I saw you. Because when you can't hurt someone else, you start to hurt yourself. And that's what some of you done, because you were powerless to change it. So in doing that, you turn it on yourself inwards. Maybe you stop eating, you physically start hurting yourself in another way. It just feels very much pain begetting another kind of pain. And then becoming addicted to it. Becoming addicted to it. So you start to gravitate to people that give you pain, pleasure, experiences. Was my own worst enemy, gang. Come on, Ashe. Come on. Come on. What do you need to know? This is how you free yourself from it. This is how you free. As an addict, you have to say it to start freeing yourself from the thing that's keeping you bound. Doesn't matter how much people try to help you do it. So until you're ready to do it and speak those things. Your words hold a lot of power, gang. Spirit is speaking, gang. We're going to get the angels to speak. And then we're going to let you go. Thank you for subbing Said energy to roll, gang. Gang, I'm spirit-led, so I don't put nothing on me. Everything is through spirit. I'm just a vessel. That's it. I claim nothing, gang. But I do claim this energy, gang. What do you need to know? Aww, I like that. I like this message. Spirit says, don't become like them, hateful. Hateful. Don't hate. Meditate. That's how you break a chain. Because they were hateful for whatever reason and projected this energy onto you. Spirit says to break it, don't hate. Before you do those hateful things, meditate on it, gang. Because a lot of the time, it's what you're saying. And then you, like the woman said, I caught myself saying the same things my mom was saying to me. Acting out the same patterns. That was me. And I hate myself. Because I said I'll never be like that. So sometimes it's very much in the subconscious, gang, and you have to catch yourself. Spirit says, before you say it, think about it. Because you may become the very thing that you hate. I like this message. Let's give this message and we're going to let you go. So please, because I feel like your mom came to keep you stuck in the energy of very much. Remember, icebox where my heart used to be hateful, cold. And then you begat children and become cold and hateful to them. And then they do the same. And then who stops it? When you're hateful and cold, you allow people to be hateful and cold to your children. This is why. So this says it really came out of that energy. That Mars warring energy, gang. The Spirit says before you become that energy, gang, you better think again. You better think before you speak, and you better practice what you're preaching. Alright? Don't hate, meditate. The angels are guiding you to love through meditation, and it's helped me so much because as a survivor of multiple traumatic abuses, meditation has helped to free my mind from things that have running through my mind. Because you know, sometimes you can't stop those thoughts. You can't. Like, we're human here. So the thoughts just, you know, if you've ever been through trauma, it traumatizes the mind and it takes over sometimes. So meditation has helped me to free my mind from things that I felt I had no control over. They were just impenetrable thoughts, invasive thoughts. And meditation helped me to control those thoughts and not have those thoughts have control over me. Because a lot of you are still stuck in this PTSD or CPTSD where your thoughts are having control over you. And through meditation, you can now have control over those thoughts. Because those thoughts are weakening you and keeping you bound to a place where you don't want to be at, gang. And when you're on this healing journey, gang, this is where you start to be more empowered and be more aware and accountable for what you're doing and not doing. Because a lot of things that we do is in the subconscious and subconsciously, and we have to be very conscious when we are healing and very intentional, because at any moment we can slip in the mind back in the past, and once you do it in the mind, gang, the physical follows. Physical acts, physical things, physical words, they follow. So it's very much keeping yourself in a meditative state where you're training the brain and the brain is not controlling you, because the brain tells the hand to move. So if the brain is very much that powerful, then you need to control it before it takes control of you, gang, and fucks up your life. The word is stuck, and it really is here in the brain. So once you can train the brain, your external will start to change. This is the message that I'm going to leave you with, and we're going to leave it with the angels, gang. Don't hate, meditate, okay? Don't become like them, hateful. Stay in the energy of love, okay? Just by doing that, you break a chain. You change it for your children. They get to experience love and not hate. You don't get to recreate your pain through them and tell them it's their fault, gang. They get to experience a loving household because of you, even if it's only just one of you. Because some of you, I'm going to say it again, it's better to have one happy person, one happy parent, than two miserable parents, gang. Because we're grown up in one parent households and we're like, but I didn't have a dad, so I want to give my kids what I didn't have. And in doing that, you give them pain, trauma, and abuse. It's better to have one happy parent than two miserable ones, gang. Figure it out. Anytime you feel overwhelmed by anger or frustration, close your eyes and connect with your angels around you. They are a great part of your life, and they want to remove the feelings that are not serving you, so that you can have a deeper and richer connection with them. Because any feelings that don't serve you, it's like it separates you, it blocks the connection, gang. You're like, but God. It's like, but God, straight. No, it's because of all this trauma, these blockages. You can't feel God's love. You can't feel God's protection, wherever it is. So they want to help remove these feelings from you, because it's not yours to carry anymore. And some of you have been carrying them for years, believing it was your fault and it wasn't. So you can have a deeper connection with your spiritual mother and father, who've always loved you unconditionally, gang. Meditate and connect with heaven, with God. God, gang. God never changes. God never leaves, whoever God is for you. To extend your awareness so you can see your eyes through the eyes of God and not through your karmic mother. And you can become more aware of who surrounds you on an energetic level. You are really independent, and that's not because you chose to be. It's because you had to be. Most of you had to grow yourself up, even though she may have been there, she wasn't there for you. And again, but God was there for you. So you are really independent, and that's why you're, as a grown person, you don't really depend on no one. You don't want no one doing nothing for you. I'm good. I don't want charity. I'm good. I'm good. That comes from that place. Just so you know, that's where it comes from, gang. Some of you don't even know where it comes from. That's where it comes from. You had to be. That orphan in you, that black sheep in you, gang. That's where it came from. The one that survived, that's where it came from. Survived it by themselves because everyone else turned on them, acted like it wasn't happening to them. That part. Oh my, a weight taken off my back. Now everything is clear. Ma, you're going to make me cry. You're going to make me cry, gang. Come on. We're never alone, Melissa. You connected to your soul tribe now. You can feel what love feels like, and now you know that was never love. You feel strangers' love more than you feel your mother's love, gang, and it's kind of sad. Can you tap the like button if I'm really tapping into your soul right now? You are very independent. As a person and as a soul. And it's wonderful how self-sufficient that you are. But your angels are encouraging you to come into your feminine energies now, because you're still operating out of a place of uncertainty, instability, and unsafety, gang, where you was in their masculine growing up. I still see the orphan in you. I still see the reject in you. I still see the abused child in you. Why? And you're 60, you're 40, you're 30, gang. You're grown. I still see it. And this is it. Because you're operating out of that energy. You're responding out of it. You're seeing your world through it. And Spirit is calling you into this divine feminine energy, to be open to loving experiences, to be open to trusting people again, because maybe you've never trusted no one ever, and you're missing out on good relationships, even just on the basic levels, guys. Because you've had so much karmic friends, karmic families, you're just like, gang, I don't trust no one. Energy. He said you were surrounded by karmics. Some of you never had a soul family till now. That's why you just don't know how to connect to people. It's not your fault though, but still be open to it. I met someone, she's 75, yeah. She done my massage for me, gang. It was amazing that I met her. Do you know I ended up meeting my soul family who was done my massage? She wants me to go to Thailand. I end up doing a reading for her, gang. It's amazing. And at 75, her husband died 4 years ago. And 4 months ago, she found her soulmate. Get that. Deep that. She was married for years. Gang, understand that you don't always have to understand the journey. You're in training for something that you may not even know yet or understand yet. But I want you to trust the journey. To learn from the journey, because life is a series of lessons, good and bad, some of them worse than others. That's why most of the people can't walk a mile in your shoes. And that's why I told you not to entertain them, gang. Don't entertain these energies. They cry over a cold. You survived much more than that. So you're very independent. You really don't need anyone. And you think that's a strong trait, but actually it's something that keeps you, I don't say away, but it stops you from having a deep connection to the spiritual realm. Because it is about a co-creation relationship, trusting spirit, God, angels, and you're not trusting nothing. You're trusting what you can see. Unless it shows up, I ain't seeing, I ain't trusting it. Unless you show me that you love me, I ain't trusting it. And you're not creating true connections, because soul family, we don't have to prove each other to each other. So you're waiting for someone to prove themselves, and it's never going to happen. Only a karmic will go out their way. It's force. They'll create a false narrative for you. And I just feel like it's a constant cycle that you've created in your life now, outside of your karmic mother. More karmic cycles with more karmic people, wondering why things are not changing, but you haven't changed your approach, and you're creating the same outcomes. Because you've got that same mindset of the child that was rejected, the child that was abused, the child that was whatever it was. So I just feel there has to be renewal of the mind, and it comes to the child that was traumatized by a karmic mother. And that's when you're going to start to see significant changes in your physical and personal and spiritual lives. Let's go. We're out. So you are very independent as a soul, and it's wonderful how self-sufficient you are. Gang, that's wonderful. But, your angels want you to understand, and they're trying to encourage you to spend some more time meditating and welcoming their help. They want to help you. You don't have to do it by yourselves to start. Gang, gang. And also the help of God. That's what they said. So that you can also be a co-creator of your world in their light, and that of your creator, gang. That's when you start to see yourself the way God sees you, not the way your mother saw you. Some of you are still operating out of a space of how your mother saw you, how your mother treated you, and not how God is seeing you, gang. And this is a problem. It's making you accept so little and give so much. You're recreating the same cycles with different karmics in your life, gang, and wondering why you feel the way you feel. It's not good enough, I'm not getting enough, because you're doing it to yourself. So they're encouraging you to spend more time meditating and connecting with the angels and God, Because once you see yourself the way that God sees you, you'll never accept nothing less from no one else. Never, ever. Never, ever. Alright? You can then become a co-creator of your world in their light. And that of your creator. Anytime you find yourself about to slip into a negative energy, gang, a negative space or mindset, can you just close your eyes wherever you are? Just for a few seconds or moments, and focus on something or someone that makes you feel safe. Gang, gang. Makes you feel free, makes you feel blessed. Something or someone that you love, gang. And this is the message from your angels. Ashe. This is your girl, the Virgo, T, gang, gang. Your karmic mother couldn't love you. So can you give all that love you tried to give to her back to yourself? Gang, gang. We love you, gang. Take care. That sounds scary. Coming for me soon. How? Should I be worried? Contract time. No, I'm not signing no contracts. I'm not working for no one. People have been telling me they're going to make me work for them. I'm never going to work for you, gang. I got my own agendas. I got my own plans. I have my own plans for myself, gang. So please don't plan out my life for me now. Ashe. As my plans may not be your plans, gang. And then you'll be disappointed now. Yeah? Okay. Because you took me out of it. And you made some decisions without speaking to me. Gang, you got to be careful with that. No one can tell me anything. They got to ask me. You got to talk about it. And so far, no one's done that. Gang, gang. Welcome. Why are you spamming the chat? Hartaj, thank you. Hartaj Singh, thank you. Is that what you want? Who is she talking to? Get out. You're in my chat. Get out. Hartaj Singh, thank you, gang. I saw you. Thank you. Guy. Take care, gang, gang. It's your grandmother's birthday in heaven today, gang, gang. Love you, D'Angela. And she loves you too, gang, gang. You know that. Feel her love. My crown is going off, D'Angela. So I know you feel her, gang. That's why you mentioned her. Happy birthday, Grandma of D'Angela. Because you know she's here, gang. My crown is connecting. Let's send some love to D'Angela. Gang. Love and light, gang, gang. Thank you, Pastor Janelle Moffat. I appreciate your feedback. I appreciate your feedback, Pastor Janelle. Gang, gang. So love and light, gang, gang. Love and light, love and light.